Hi, students. Today we're going to be doing a very interesting topic. And if I use the word interesting, I know you're ready to go. So let's do it. All right. So I don't want to tell you the topic. I want you to guess the topic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a video clipping for you. And at the end of it, you're going to tell me what type of video clip you think it is. All right. Are you ready for that? All right. Let's hit our video.
But first, we've got some sobering news here in the metro. A man shot and killed at work in KCK. 25-year-old Laren Briggs had been at Pizza Hut less than a month. 41 Action News reporter Sarah Plake talked to Briggs' family. Sarah, what'd they have to say tonight?
They're just so shocked. They couldn't believe it was him. They say that he had just finished up his last delivery and was getting ready to get off work, and then this happened.
I had no idea when he went to work last night that he wasn't going to come back home.
LaRon Briggs has a big family, and his death is a crushing loss for all of them.
He loved his family. He always worked hard. He was just a good kid.
Briggs was shot dead at his job at Pizza Hut at 43rd and Rainbow late Tuesday night. He was 25.
All right, guys. So what would you call this type of video clip? Now, if you said that it's a news clip, then guys, yes, you are right. Very good. Yes, guys, I'm proud of you. Now, we're going to look exactly at what we're going to be doing. So the word news came up, and today I just want to expound on it to let you know that we're going to be looking at news writing today. All right, guys. Now, in order for us to have a firm understanding of the lesson, we're going to be looking at some key terms involved in this lesson. The first one is news. The second one is inverted pyramid. Then we have most interesting, least important, unbiased, facts. We're going to look at the 5 questions: who, what, where, when, why. We're going to look at interviews, point of view, quotations, lead and introduction, the main body, the end or the conclusion. All right, guys. Now, guess what? We want to really understand this topic, so we are going to look at what we mean when we talk about the news. So yes, guys, what do we mean by news? Let's go. News is information about events, people, or issues that the public wants or needs to know. So it's information or events, about events, people, or issues that the public wants or needs to know. Now, guys, how do we get the news? We get the news by reading newspapers, magazines, by listening to the radio, by watching the television, and of course, from the internet. Yes, guys, very good. We're going to move on. And because I really want you to understand the topic, I'm going to look at 5 questions that every news item should answer. Right? The first one is who. Who is the story about? In other words, who are the persons involved in this story or this event or this occasion? What is the story about? Right? What happened? Where did it happen? Where did the story happen? Then when did this story happen? And why did this story happen? Very good. So let's look at the questions again. Who, what, where, when, and why. So remember, if you're going to be reading a news article or listening to a news item, you should be able to use these 5 questions to dissect the news article and understand it properly. Okay. Now, we are going to be looking at the parts of a news story. Now, the other day you started looking at expository essays, and we can relate it to when we're writing a news item. So, of course, you're going to need an introduction, and in this case, it will be called your lead. All right, guys? So your lead is going to be at the top, and it should answer the 5 questions: who, what, when, where, why, and sometimes how. Then you're going to have the main part of your story, and that part is going to be called the body, right? And it should be properly structured, and it should develop the lead. So the lead should not be there on its own, but the body is supposed to develop the lead. All right, I'm going to explain it some more. I'm just pointing out the parts. And then you have the end of your news story. Now, as you look at this, you're going to see an upside down triangle, but it's not really called that. It is called an inverted pyramid, and that's what journalists use when they're writing their stories. So what they do is to put the most important information at the top, put other relevant or related information in the middle, and then they add some information to the bottom that might not be very important, but this information also helps to bring out the full story. So the readers or the listeners can listen to the first part and the development in the middle and understand what the story is about, even if they don't want to listen to the end part. Right, I'm going to explain that some more. Let me go across here first and then I'll come back. Your lead is going to be short. It's going to be 1 or 2 sentences. And then here, the body, let's relate it to over here, the body, right? Here is where you're going to provide more details and important facts about your lead. So here you're going to answer the questions why and how. All right, down here, you're going to give a quote, or if you want to say quotations, right? And you're going to give background information. So provide information to the background, for the background of the story, and you're to include relevant quotes from important persons related to the story. Down here, you're going to put less newsworthy information, but this information will give additional information to what you have further up in the lead and the other part of the body. And down here, you're going to give some information. It's nice to know this information, but it doesn't matter if the audience does not read it, because you already gave them the most important information at the top in the lead and in the second part of the body. All right, so remember now, you're going to start your news item with a lead, and it must be very interesting. It must be attention grabbing, all right? And you're to answer the 5 W's. Okay, now in the body, remember to support what you had in the lead, right? So you're going to give your quotations and different explanations, right? Then for the conclusion, you're going to wrap up your story. It should not be very long. You can end your story with a quotation, or if you want to ask a question, a very intriguing question, something to keep your readers wanting more, or you can give your listeners or your readers a challenge, or have them anticipate a new development or some new stories coming up. All right, good. Yes, guys, we're doing this. Let's do it. All right, let's continue. So basically, we have already said all of this, but I like to give some extra information. You can link information with each other and help yourself to better understand what we're saying. So before I forget, don't forget that you need a headline for your story, and don't forget that you need your lead, and then you have the body, and then you have the conclusion. And don't leave out your 5 W's, all right? And remember to put your most interesting or important information first and the least at the bottom, all right, guys? We're doing this. We're enjoying ourselves. And this summarizes it for you. This is what the body of your story should look like. All right, guys, so you can go over this on your own. All right, now there are some things that we need to do before writing a story because we don't want to write stories that are inaccurate, right? Journalists, to make sure that they take time out to do some preparation before they write their news items, right? So the first thing that you need to do is to choose a topic and collect information on it. And when you're collecting this information, you need to make sure that it's accurate. And you're keeping in mind, while you choose your topic, while you're collecting your information, your audience. Is your story going to interest your audience? Right. So now that you're collecting information, you can collect your information by doing interviews, right? When you do interviews, you get to get different sides of the story from persons involved in the story. It might be eyewitnesses, or it might be the persons who are directly related to the event that you're covering. If these persons give you quotations, remember to quote these persons word for word. All right. You may also need to do some research. You're going to use reference materials to get the facts that you need, and you're going to check your facts to make sure that you have collected the right thing, right information, I should say. And you need some pictures or videos to help you to give your story. All right, guys, we're doing so well and we're almost finished. So, guys, let's go. All right, so you have done your preparation, you have done your background work. Now you're going to be writing. You're ready to write. If I could clap loudly, I would say, yay, we are ready to write. Guys, yes, we're ready to write. Let's do this. Right. So you're going to, now that you have collected your information, make a list or an outline of all the facts so as to ensure that your information is properly organized and you don't get confused. All right, when you're going to write, bear in mind that you need to use the third person point of view. And what we mean is that the story is not about you, it belongs to other persons. So you're not going to say I, we, and you. You're going to say he, she, it, or they. And you can do some research to find out other third person pronouns that you can use in your news writing. All right, so guys, remember now we're going to go right back and look at the inverted pyramid. Start with your lead. Remember, it must be the most important information at the top, most important and most interesting information that must be at the beginning. And you're to start with a very interesting attention grabber. All right, and then you go down to the middle of your inverted pyramid. Remember to give the relevant information that relate to your lead statement. And guys, don't forget that your story must cover all the 5 W's. Right, good job. All right, and then you're going to give more information about your lead further down. All right, guys, and remember you're to put quotations, and if you put quotations in your story, don't forget to quote word for word, right? Unless you're going to use it in an indirect way. All right, guys, we're moving on. We're almost finished. Yes, we're almost finished. All right, guys, so you have written your story. Please make sure that you proofread. Check for all the grammatical errors, spelling errors. Check the names of these persons. Check the dates of the events, contact information or addresses. And don't forget, you cannot be biased. You cannot be biased. See, you have to be unbiased, right? It's not about you. So you're supposed to not put your opinions in it. Keep your writing factual and objective. All right, guys, good. We're almost finished. So you're going to end your article, right? make sure that your article is complete and finished, and give a good concluding sentence. And remember how I said you can end? You can use a question. You can have the readers expect further developments. You can give your readers a challenge, or you can use a quote if you want to. Yes, guys, we're almost done. And don't forget that even though we're using the 5 questions, who, what, where, when, why, remember that 3 of these questions actually form the greatest part of your story, and that is who, these are the persons involved, what took place, the event, where, okay, where did it happen? Right, guys, so bear these things in mind. Yes, guys, it was such a good lesson. Thank you for your patience. And what I want you to do for me now is to use the 5 questions and go back to the video at the beginning of the lesson and use it to fill in the questions, the answers for the 5 questions. Who, what, when, where, why. All right, guys. I enjoyed this lesson so much. Take care now, all right? We will talk soon. Bye-bye.